Hello and welcome to another Lightroom Quick Edit. Today I'm gonna take this raw file and turn it into a picture like this in, of course, just about 5 minutes. So this was really just a snapshot of some tropical plants that I've took in a tropical garden probably like a year back, and I just stumbled upon the picture lately, and it's by no means perfect. It's just a snapshot. As you can see, there are some leaves right there are out of focus, but I still think it has a really cool overall mood, and I'm gonna try and make this picture as good as I can. So I'm first of all gonna raise the exposure here, definitely need it, and I'm also gonna bring down the highlights and bring up the whites, just kind of my basic workflow, and make sure that nothing is clipped. Now usually I would make sure that nothing is clipped, but as you can see, this little white point is clipped, but that's really no big deal. I'm actually just gonna remove that, and we have a nice non-clipped picture here. Then I'm definitely gonna raise the shadows quite a bit here, so we have a lot of detail to work with, and I'm also going to bring down the blacks just slightly so we have a little bit more contrast. So contrast slider itself, I really think there's enough contrast how it is in the pictures. I'm not going to change anything there, but I definitely want to add some clarity here that really brings out the texture in these leaves so much more, and I really like that look. In terms of color temperature, now this is quite a tough picture, but I actually think it's pretty good how it was, maybe even a little bit too warm. So I'm gonna bring that down a little bit more towards the blues again, and tint. Now tint is pretty difficult because if I go even more into the greens, it really starts to look unnatural, so I'm not gonna do anything there. I'm just gonna stick how it is, and I really like the color. Let's go quickly to the tonal curve and of course bring up the highlights and just see what these other sliders do and where I want to put them. Really no set track takedown and the tone curve in everything except for the highlight slider. So I think the picture looks pretty good, but because these leaves in the foreground really aren't in focus and it's a really big distraction, there are two things that we could do. We could either grab an adjustment brush and, just add a lot of vignetting so kind of the attention gets more towards the center, and I actually kind of like this look, but overall I think I'm gonna crop it and go with kind of a panoramic aspect ratio. So I'm gonna crop out more than half of the picture down here and just go with something like that. Now it's definitely completely different to what I usually do, and actually when I think of it, I think I'm gonna crop a little bit to the left as well, just because there's not really anything interesting in these very dark parts to the left. I'm just gonna press enter, and I actually really like this picture. It's very focused, very narrow depth of field, but it has something. It's really interesting, and I really like it. So the last thing I'm gonna do here is actually going to noise reduction, because this picture has too much noise. I really don't like noise reduction, but as much noise as we have here, we just have to add some, quite a lot actually. Really unfortunate, but it's a better trade-off to have a clean looking picture and a little bit less detail rather than a lot of noise and a lot of detail, at least for this picture. And actually the last thing isn't noise reduction. I'm actually gonna bring up the masking slider for the default sharpening, and actually I'm gonna add a little bit of plus sharpening as well, just to compensate for the noise reduction that we've added before. So I think I'm done here, and I really like this picture. It's really different to what I usually do, and I guess I could just choose these spot removal tools and just get rid of these unpleasant spots in the leaves. But yeah, because it's a 5-minute quick edit, of course, I want to keep it relatively short, and I'm gonna say that I'm done. So here is before, and here is after. Now there's definitely two looks that you could go for, either the very dark and kind of mysterious look, or of course the look that we've ended up with here. I really like both looks, but overall I think this actually works a little bit better for my taste. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I want to wish you a beautiful day.